This is Mr. Sokka, and as you can see, he's got some kind of very strong flight behavior. What's interesting though is that when they brought him over for an evaluation, he was really more in a fight behavior. He was barking and kind of trying to take little, kind of come around and try and do little nips behind me. And it was interesting. When they brought him in today, there was none of that. He's just a little bit of growling. So we're just getting to know each other through some long line work. Mr. Juno's out here. I don't know if he's in the shot, but oh, hey Juno. I like having the dogs out here. Hazel's over there. Just so it gives him something to have a good reference point, you know, and to let him go in the flight towards a dog like Juno who's stable. It's always a good thing to have. So if you notice, what I'm doing is letting him have the flight. The last thing you want to do, especially with a dog like this, is kind of start restricting, you know, and over time you'll see me starting to limit the amount of line they have. But in the beginning, there we go. Hopefully he's in the shot, but he's over there laying down now. But in the beginning of long line work, you really want to give the dog the complete length of the line. Otherwise, it's not long line work. And the reason being, especially for Sokka, is that I want him to have that contrast of what it's like to be in a panic going away from me, and then also what it feels like moving back towards me. And then more importantly, when he has moments like this where he lays down. And so that's why it's important. See, so now what I'm doing, but anyways, finish that thought. That's why it's important that you give the dogs the full length of the line when you're starting out. What I'll do eventually is when he starts to go into flight, I might cut him short a little bit, a couple feet. So he's only going into flight like 12 feet and then maybe 10 feet, you know, and just do it in increments. And then if he really panics, I'll let him go back out again on the full line. But also what's important, you notice there's no pressure on the line. So anytime a dog in flight goes static, where they just stop, you want them, that's why I'm not moving right now, because I want him to sit there and soak on this moment where he's not in flight, and he'll start to make the connection between the line pressure and you know, that's what you're kind of teaching him. So every time he goes and he puts pressure on the line, he comes back towards me. And so that's what we're doing, is letting him feel the panic, but then come back towards something that has some sort of, you know, calmness to it or some direction to it, even though he's not 100% confident with me. But again, he's laying down again, so I'm letting him soak on that. And then what I'll do is I'll start moving him. And even just doing any sort of sounds can send him into flight. This sort of stuff, this is fine, because you're kind of wanting him to like settle, and then trigger into flight, work him out of it. Some people think, well, that's mean, you're scaring him. It's like, well, there's scary things in the world that we have no control over. You know, cars backfiring, compressors going on. And so initially, you know, what you want to do with these flight dogs is teach them where to go when they go into flight. And that's back to the handler. So, you know, I can be the one that triggers the flight, because I'm going to be the one that fixes the flight. I'm going to be the one that gets them out of the flight. So it's important to kind of be able to push the buttons on these dogs. And you can just do it a little bit, you know, in the beginning. But as he gets more confident with me and we have better foundation and recall, then we can trigger those flight behaviors again and work them through them. But he's not doing too bad. I'm pretty impressed. Let's see if he'll get on here. Yeah, no. There you go, buddy. So see, I'm just blocking him from going left and right. See that foot's poised to take off, that front foot, that's good. There you go, buddy. A lot of yawning, a lot of shaking. That's the adrenaline that he has downloaded for preparing for flight. He was like that when they brought him in. He was shaking. So I'm going to give him a little forward pressure. This is hard because he's uncertain about me. So to get him to come towards me is actually really, wow, dude. Willie, that's awesome. That's awesome, buddy. I was very surprised there. So, hi, buddy. So this is what I need. Now I'm going to try and create this safety zone with the place right out of the gate. Sweet. Good job, Sokka. Now, if I bend down or squat down, I'm going to test the waters there, because when he was here for the evaluation, see how he's thinking of running. I'm going to let him have the line if he does. I'm not going to hold him to this place board. I'll just work him back onto it. So you let him go. And then bring him back and do it again. You want him to get on here. See, the thing is, the gate's over there, and that's where the owners were, so he's trying to get back to go that direction. There's a strong draw where they want to try and get back to their owner, but look who came in to help. Right on cue, Mr. Juno. There you go, Sokka. Cool. So I'm just going to block him a little bit and bring him back. It's not a strong flight, so that's why I'm kind of blocking him and shortening the line out. If it was a real panic flight, I would let him have the whole line. But it's not. It's just a little bit of a small. There we go. So this is the stuff I can just kind of block, step in, block, step in. And you have to be careful that if you put too much on him, he's going to go and take off. So, all right. Well, it's off to a great start, actually. Thanks, Juno. Mr. Sokka. Going to carry on.